What is the position of the Hungarian government related to the ethnic Hungarian autonomy?
In Transylvania?
In Transylvania, yes.
We think that, once again, some of the Romanian politicians and even in the Romanian public opinion, there is a misconception of the autonomy. They think or they claim that the autonomy equals separatism. No. Autonomy is the antonym of the separatism. If somebody wants to get an autonomy, that means he wants to stay in, not to get out. He wants to stay in. Autonomy means to stay in and have the right to conserve yourself, nothing else.
Do you think that inside an autonomous region, the Romanians would also be content?
I hope so. If you mean the secular land, the Harghita, Covasna and Mureș, and I think that Romanians living there, they might be minority on a given locality, but they would never be a minority in this country. They are the majority, so they can find a comfortable existence for themselves. And I'm absolutely sure that the Hungarian leaders of the given communities are aware of this. So it is in their own interest to give the absolute comfort to the Romanians that are in quote-unquote minority in this country, in Harghita, Covasna and some places in Mureș. As for the rest of the Hungarians, of course, there is no sense to get a territorial autonomy because they are in diaspora. For them, it's very important to have this so-called cultural autonomy, which is underway, I think. And I don't think that any normal and healthy Romanian political force would be against it. This is quite normal all over the world, all over the democratic world.
You have declared in 2008 that there is no irredentism in Hungary. How do you see this issue after the rise of the far right in Hungary?
We do not have any open or hidden or any other kind of irredentism as for the territories. We understood that we cannot remake the Greater Hungary as it was. What we want to do is reunite the nation, not the country, not the territory, the people.
Before being an ambassador, you have been a journalist, and before that, you've also worked in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs in Hungary. What were you doing at that time?
The same, but I was, of course, a beginner. I have been always a man very interested to this part of, with this part of the world, and I started my career dealing with Bulgaria, Romania, former Yugoslavia and Albania. I worked some 4 years in the foreign ministry, and then I've got an offer to do the same thing, but much more freely in a newspaper. So I used to be a journalist for 28 years, working for a daily newspaper, and then sometimes for the Hungarian radio and the public television. Basically dealing with international affairs. I was correspondent to Asia, to the United States, and finally to Brussels.
And finally, a delicate question. What do you like and what do you dislike in Romania?
What I do like in Romania, this is the Romanian mentality. They are Latins and Easterners at the same time, with a very colorful and forceful mentality and way of living. Hungarians are pessimistic and a little bit closed, and we like to make problems for themselves, for ourselves. Romanians, no. Romanians like how to say, a colorful Latin way of temperament. I like it very much. What I mislike, I don't know if it's diplomatic or not, this is the state of the infrastructure in this country. I think this is the biggest problem, and not only from the point of view of the economy, not because the GDP or not. With the state of the infrastructure, the roads, the railroads, and so on, Romania cannot develop as it could had it had a little bit better infrastructure. So had I been a Romanian decision maker, my priority zero would be infrastructure.